This is going to be the tutorial that's going to show you how to make the Celtic Weave Stripe Hobo bag. And you can do this one of two ways. You can do it horizontally or vertically. And you can choose before you start sewing it together. It's up to you. But the strips are made exactly the same. And I've got 5 strips for this one and 5 strips for this one. So you can color it any way you want. I just kind of alternated making the center strip one color and then the outside a different color, and then I would change the color around on the next one. But you can make it all one color if you want. But given the way I made both these bags, the main color, which is the one I used to make the handles of the bag and the top part here of the bag, is considered the main color. And you're going to need 2 skeins of yarn for the main color and only 1 skein for the secondary color. The yarn I used is worsted weight yarn, 4 ply for the US, 10 ply for Australia. And I also used a 5mm hook or size H hook. You're also going to need a stitch marker of some kind. You can use bits of yarn or something like that, or if you have a stitch marker, then feel free to use that, but you're going to need one. And that's it. So go ahead and grab those things and we'll get started. Okay. To begin, you want to start off by chaining 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And you want to double crochet, and this is row 1. You want to double crochet in the 3rd chain from the hook. So you want to count 1, 2, 3 and do a double crochet in that 3rd chain. And then you want to work a double crochet in the rest of your chain all the way down. So go ahead and do that, and I'll see you back here in a moment. Okay, when you get done, you should have 8 double crochets. For row 2, you want to chain 1 and turn. Now, the first 2 stitches of this row, you're going to want to do a half double crochet. So with a half double crochet in the first one, and then half double crochet in the second one. Now, this is where we start our Celtic weave. We're going to be working with triple crochet, so go ahead and yarn over twice. Then you're going to be working with the 5th and 6th double crochets here. So you can, these 2 here are for the first 2 half double crochets. Then you're going to skip the next 2, which is 3 and 4, and you're going to start right here on this 5th one, and you're going to pull up the post like that. And you're going to work a triple crochet. And you'll do the same thing with the 6th one as well. Pull up the post and work a triple crochet. Now you're going to do another triple crochet, so yarn over twice. And now we're going to be working in these previous 2, which is going to be the 3rd and 4th double crochets. We're going to start in the 3rd double crochet. So count 1, 2, 3. You're going to be working with that 3rd. You'll come in front and grab up that post and work your triple crochet on the 3rd, on the post of the 3rd double crochet. Now you have this one in between here, that is the 4th double crochet, and you'll work a triple double crochet, front post double crochet on that, which leaves you the last 2 double crochets. So you want to do a half double crochet in this one and a half double crochet in the last one. You'll always begin with 2 half double crochets and end with 2 half double crochets. So in these last 2, so that's the end of row 2. So for row 3, chain 1 and turn. After every triple crochet cross stitch like this that we're going to be doing, you want to do a single crochet row. So we're just going to work 1 single crochet in each of those 8 stitches. 6, 7 and 8. So for row 4, again, the first 2 stitches of the row, you're going to work a half double crochet in them. And now you're going to be working with the triple crochets from the 2 rows back. So you're going to be triple crocheting again, so yarn over twice. And now we're going to start by triple crocheting on this 2 sets of triple crochets that are right in front. We're going to start with the one on this side first. So grab up the post of that first one and work a triple crochet. Then you want to grab the post of the next, go under it, and do a triple crochet. You can see now, because we worked on those first, it's starting to go this way, and the other one's going this way. So it's already pulling. We want that to show. So we're going to be working the next set of triple crochets now from behind. So you're going to yarn over twice, and then it helps to pull it forward, and you can see that there's 2 stitches. This is where you just did your 2 stitches onto this one. There's these 2 stitches in between. They're the 2 stitches that's connected to the triple crochets down here. So you're going to want to actually go down here and pull up this first, which is the 3rd stitch of the row, and then this one, which was the 4th stitch that you worked on the 3rd and 4th double crochet in the first and the 2nd row. So yarn over twice and find that first triple crochet that's behind there and work a triple crochet, and you'll do that for the next 2. And I recommend, if you've never done this stitch before, that you check out my beginner video on this that I did, an interweave Celtic strip blanket. No, not the strip blanket, interweave stitch, I believe is what it was called. I'll leave a link in the description below so that you can find it. And I have slow motion in there, and you can see all the stitches and what I just did, because it can be hard to see on camera, but I think I got a good shot of it in that video. So go there and check it out, and it's exactly the same way that you do this. The only thing is that that one's much wider scale. This is just the strip going back and forth, but the principle is exactly the same. So again, the last 2 stitches of the row are going to be half double crochets, and then again, after you've done one of these triple crochet rows, you're going to do a single crochet row. And you're going to be repeating these last 4 rows that I just showed you over and over again until you get the length that you desire, whether a 25 size like I did the horizontal one here, which is pretty big, or you can do the 20, which is what this is, the strip of 20. Then after this row, you want to chain 1 and turn. Then you'll yarn over, and your first 2 stitches of the row are going to be half double crochets. Now yarn over twice and go in. This is your 3rd and 4th stitch, which is the and it's sticking out forward, and then you have these 2 stitches that are kind of hiding behind it, which are the 5th and 6th stitches of the row. Now you want to come over here and work in the 5th triple crochet, and I'm working in not the wider part of the triple crochet, but there's like a smaller section here that is like the top of the triple crochet where it's connected. It's smaller, and it is better to work there, because if you work under, you have these 2 little lines on either side that's actually going to, after a while, start to fold your piece. So it's best to work in that part of the stitch, and this is the part I'm going to use here. So I'm skipping my first 2 triple crochets, and I'm going into the 3rd, the one that's hiding behind, and I'm putting my triple crochet on that, and then on your 6th you'll work your triple crochet. Now this is where you can see you have one going in this direction, and then this one is also going in this direction, so that when you see that, you know that they're both obviously not supposed to go in the same direction, so you know that you need to go in front, to cross in front. So this row will be going in front and picking up this, which is the third triple crochet of the row, the third stitch, because the first two are half double crochets. And then you'll do the fourth triple crochet. And when you get done, you can see now it's pulled on that way. Now you've got this kind of Z pattern forming. And again, the last two stitches of the row are going to be half double crochets. And this last one's sticking on me. Okay. And again, after every triple crochet row, we'll be doing a row of single crochets. Seven and 8. Okay, you want to chain and turn, and your first two stitches are going to be half double crochet. And now again, we're going to start working with the farther one first before we work with the first one. So you're going to be working on your 5th stitch, and do your triple crochet on that one, and then you're going to work on the 6th stitch here and work triple crochet on that one. Now this one you'll be coming from behind, so you want to go from underneath here and grab up your 3rd. Sometimes you have to look here. There we go. Grab up your 3rd stitch, and then again you need to come back here and find the next one, which is the 4th stitch of the row. Then work your half double crochets, then you'll chain 1 and turn, and you'll do your single crochet row. So far I'm getting my Z pattern. Now these two make the first peak, so I'm counting this is 2 because this is 1 and 2. And then the next peak is 3 and 4, and I'm going to continue on. For this size purse I'm doing a 20, and for the other one I did 25. So you can make your strip as long as you want, and then when you get done with your strip, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do the outside round, where I got in blue here. Okay, you want to make sure when you're done with your strip that you end after a single crochet row. And when you've got your strip as long as you want, you're going to want to grab your other color and you're going to start, find the bottom of this triple crochet here, because you're going to be working along the side anyway. So it's best to find this very the very last double crochet of the row, and find the stitch that it's going in, that you worked it in, and then attach your yarn there. So my double crochet here was worked into this stitch, so I'm going to go into that same stitch, and I'm going to slip stitch my new color on. Then you want to chain 3, and you're going to find the next, see, this is your next double crochet, and this is the stitch that you worked that double crochet in, and that's the stitch I'm going to slip stitch in on this side. And you're going to continue doing that down the row. Chain 3, find the next place you worked your double crochet along the side, and keep working your chain 3s. Continue to do that all the way down your side of your, okay, when you've reached the end, I'm going to just cut that thing, that's really annoying. Scrap yarn anyway. Just gonna chain. Okay. So you've reached, you chained 3 at the end here, and now this is the very last double crochet, and usually you would slip stitch in the place where you did your double crochet, but there isn't, so you're going to do it right there on the top part of the, I guess it's the chain. So you're going to work it right in the chain, top of the chain 2. Then you're going to want to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to skip over 3. So you're not counting the very first one, you're going to count the next one. So 1, 2, 3, and then this, let me see, just make sure. Skip 3. The first one says skip 2. 1, 2, and I do it here. Then 1, 2, 3, I do it here. Okay. So for this one, I'm going to skip 3 at the beginning, which puts me here in the center. And then I'll chain 5 again. 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to work it in the very last stitch of the top. Just try to make it centered here. So for the other one, it was, I must have worked it here in the top of the stitch, and I must have skipped my first chain 2. So if you work it in the chain 2, you want to skip 3. And if you work it in the first double crochet, go ahead and skip 2. So it just depends on where you decide to put it. Then you'll want to chain 3 again, and now you're going to be working on the other side. And there's going to be, I know it's hard to see, this is the double crochet, and there's always going to be a little piece of string that's an indicator that underneath is where you want to put your stitch, your slip stitch. So I'm going to chain 3 again, find my next little space here, my little line indicator, and slip stitch. You can also count by, you can go, there's a space here, and then there's a bigger space here. See, there's like one little space and one bigger space. I usually try to go for the bigger space. I'm like going every other little space. So like every other space, put slip stitch into. Chain 3, skip this first space and go into the next one to do your slip stitch. Skip this next space and then go into the next. And then look and see if it's somewhat lining up, like you have on the same kind of footing. One is not so much more than the other one, and mine isn't. It may be slightly off, but it's still basically the same. It's not going to look funny. Try to get them aligned as much as you can. Even if you have to, you know, slip stitch right in the next one to get it to line up. But mine is looking good. It's not off. So at the end here, you're going to slip stitch on this stitch, which will bring you back up to the top. Now you want to chain 5 again. 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this one I slip stitched into the stitch on top here. So here, I believe it's a 1. The ending stitch, I'm going to be here. Then 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2. Okay, yeah. So this one is going to be only skip 2, 1, 2, and then the third, I'm going to slip stitch. Remember, this is the last row you did when you were doing your strip. Then you want to do 5 again, 4, 5. Which will bring me over to this very top stitch on this side. Then you'll do your final one, which is chain 3, and then go into the same stitch where you first began your slip stitch. And that will finish that whole row. Now we're going to be working in these little sections here that we just made, those chain 3 spaces. You're going to slip stitch into the very first one here, and you'll chain 2, and then you're going to work inside that chain 3 space 2 more double crochets. The chain 2 that you did at the beginning will count as your first double crochet. So you'll have 3 double crochets in there. A chain, but actually it's a chain of 2 and 2 double crochets. Now for the rest, you'll be working 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets, all worked in that chain 3 space. Not going into any stitches this row. So continue to work your 3 double crochets down your chain, and when you get up to these top ones here, you'll work, because this is a chain of 5, you'll work 5 double crochets in this one, 5 double crochets in this one, and then when you get back to the chain 3, you'll go with your 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets, till you get back up to your other side, which is 5 chains and 5 chains, and you'll want to work 5 double crochets in this one and 5 double crochets in this one. The only difference is the ends where you'll be working your 5 double crochets. The rest are all going to be 3. Okay, and when you've done that, so you can see this one, see I have my 5 double crochets here, you'll want to slip stitch in the beginning of the beginning chain 2 that you did. And then after that, you'll be here. So you'll be like, you've done your 5, and then you'll do your, I guess, your last 3 here, so you'll end up here. So you want to go ahead and just chain 1, cut your yarn, hide your tails, and I'll show you how to sew these pieces together. So I worked from the back. And I think I used only my blue yarn, yeah. I don't have a lot left of. I may have some still back there, I don't know. So make my slip knot here. And you want to turn your work where the back is facing you. And this strip as well, the back facing you. And then you can line them up like this, and then you'll pick it up. So now you've got back side, back side. So basically you have the 2 good sides, 2 front sides facing you. And of course you, and remember, I should say, you have your 5 and 5, your 5s on the top. You want them to line up. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to start not with the 5s, but there's the space in between after the 5 where you know your first set of 3 is about to start. You're going to be starting in the first double crochet in your chain of 3 here. And I'm only going to be using the back stitch. So I'm going to go in through the back stitch only on this side. Then I'm going to find my first double crochet of my chain, my double crochet, my 3 double crochets here, and I'm only going to go through the back stitch. Of course here you can see that this is the front stitch and this is the back stitch. I'm only going to be going through that back stitch, and then you can slip stitch or you can single crochet. I'm just going to do a slip stitch and then line them up and continue to do this all the way around, going through those back stitches only. This is exactly the same way that I sewed my lacy flower squares together for that afghan that I have in the previous tutorial. I'm just going through back stitches only, and you're working with the back of your project facing you, and you want to continue to sew them together like that until you reach the last double crochet of the 3 on this side. You don't want to do the 5. You want to stop here in the last double crochet of the last set of 3 that you have, and then you can chain 1 and cut your yarn. Okay, so I just got done with the sewing, and now I have the 5 here I don't want to work on, so I'm going to go ahead and chain 1 and cut my yarn. And then you will have your 2 sewn together. Now continue until you have 5 completed. And I'm going to have them facing this way this time on the back, so I'm going to fold it in half this way just so I can work on it. I mean, it's going to be on your lap probably, so you don't have to. But anyway, I'm going to start with the side that's facing me the way I want it to go to make my front side of the bag. So grab your main color that you want to use for your handles. And again, we're going to be working with the tip only. So you have 5 and 5 here, the end pieces of your strips. And I'm going to start in the very first of the first 5. And I'm going to slip stitch my color on. Now I'm going to start gathering. Since I slip stitched in this first stitch, this is still going to count as 1. And then I'm going to go into my next stitch, pull up a loop, that'll be 2. Then going through the next stitch and pull up a loop, that'll be 3. I have 3 loops on my hook. Later you'll have 4. So it's only for this very first one. Just make sure you have your 3 stitches. Then you'll want to yarn over and pull through all 3 of those. Then you continue on your next stitch, pull up a loop, do that stitch. Then your next one, pull up a loop through that, and then your third. Now you'll have 4 loops on your hook like you will for the rest of the time. And then you'll want to yarn over and pull through all 4 loops. Then you'll continue again. 1, 2, 3, pull through all 4 loops. You're going to continue to gather your stitches this way. So 1, and then I'm going to count 1 double crochet on this side as one of my stitches, and then I'm going to hop over and count this next stitch here, which is sewn, and count that as my third. Then I'm going to continue on. This last one that I slip stitched into was the one that we sewed these 2 together. That was the end of my third. Now I'm starting the very first double crochet on my chain 5 here. My double crochet 5 here. So I'm going to go in 1, 2, 3. Then I still have 2 stitches left of my 5 on my end piece. I'm going to go through those 2, and then the beginning of my 5 on the next here. And try your best not to get too big of a loop in between here. You don't want it to be too tight, but you don't want it to be too loose. So just continue working it down. And again, I'm going to go through one of the stitches that are sewn on this side and the other stitch that's sewn on the other side, which will bring me now to my very first stitch of my next 5. And just continue to do this all the way down until you reach your last double crochet here on the 5 of the tip of the strip, the very last one. Continue until you get to that, and then I will be back. Okay, so I got all the way here, and now I only have 1 stitch on the end that needs to be, that's just on its own. So I'm just going to slip stitch in that one and bring it in, so that it leaves me in my very last stitch here of my 5, my tip. And that's it. Now you've gathered. Let me back up a little bit there. Okay, now you see I've gathered the whole top part. Now we're going to be working in a row just for this front sides, when you go the front and the bottom. So you'll want to chain 1 and turn. And now in these stitches that you just did, you're going to be working 1 single crochet in each of those. So you just did all that gathering. I'm going to go ahead and do 1 single crochet in this first one. Then you can see the bigger stitch here. 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet. Just work 1 single crochet in each one of those till you get to your last, or your very first decrease that you did. Okay, so once you've single crocheted all the way to the end, count your single crochets that you have. Some may be different, and given the size it could also be different just from the stitches that you used. But it's just important to count how many that you have. And I have 20 stitches here. My last purse, I had 26. So, let me back up just a little bit. So this is what we're going to be working in, these stitches here, to get this part of the bag. And it's kind of diagonal like this, because we're going to be doing decreases. So this is the part between my two fingers, and it's going to be kind of diagonal like that on the ends. And we're going to be working 6 rows total, because we want 6 rows for our strip of our bag. If you want more rows for the strip, like maybe you think this is too thin, and you want to maybe go 8, then go 8 rows here too. Just try to keep it even to this, so that you don't have a big old fat front part of the bag and then some skinny strip. So I try to keep whatever rows I do here, I do here. But first important thing is to get to the correct amount of stitches that we need. So we're going to be decreasing some each row until we get the desired stitches we have here. On the maroon bigger bag that I did, I had 26, and I decreased on each side. So I decreased at the beginning using the first 2 stitches to decrease them down to the 1, and then I also did the decrease on the end, which brought me down 2 stitches every row. And it took me 1, 2, 3, 4 rows to get it to how many stitches that I needed. But I needed a total of 6 rows. So the last 2, I just did single crochets. Once you reach the amount of stitches that you need, just do the rest of your rows single crochet. So I have 20 stitches, and I want to get on the smaller bag here 16 stitches. The bigger bag you want 18. This one I'm going to do 16. So I'm going to decrease in my first and my second, my first and my last stitch until I reach 16 stitches. So if I have 20, I'm going to decrease by 2. So this next row will be 18 after I get done, and then the next one will be 16. So actually I only have to do 2 more rows of decreasing, and then the last 3 rows will just be single crochets. And this is the pattern that you'll follow as well. So I'm going to chain 1 and turn. So for the very first and last row, stitch of the row, I'm going to do a decrease. So I'm just going to go in one of the stitches, then go into the next stitch, then pull through all 3, making those 2 just 1 stitch. And then you're going to continue to work 1 single crochet until you get to your last 2 stitches, and then you'll do a decrease here. And remember, keep doing the decreases 2 per row, the first and last stitch, until you reach the desired stitches that you need. 16 for this medium-sized bag, and then 18 for the bigger bag. Okay, so I got done with my rows. My first two rows were decreasing, and then I just went back and forth for the rest of my 4 rows that I needed. And remember, you want to end after a row with the good side facing you. So once you've got that last row done, the good side's facing you, I'm going to go ahead and chain 1, and we're going to be single crocheting down the side. For my last one, I say it took me 6 stitches to reach my first stitch. Down here where we start to decrease again, you want to work down the side until you reach your first. There's your first set of 3. Remember, we stopped at the end of our tip here where we had our 5 double crochets. So we're going to start our decreasing process here. So I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm going to work a single crochet down the side. So I'm going to go in my first single crochet, work 1 there, then down here there's 3, There's 4. I'll skip over here and do 1 in that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I managed to get down there in 6, and nothing's pulling, and it looks nice going down the side. Then that's good enough. Okay, now the very next stitch is the first of that set of 3. So I'm going to start my decreases again, grabbing up those first 3 stitches and decrease. And now you're going to start doing the same way of decreasing down the side of your bag, and you're going to continue until you reach this is the last 3 set of double crochets on this side. You're going to stop here, and then we need to place a marker, because when we start the tip again, this is going to be our other side of our bag, and we're going to be doing the exact same thing we did on this side. So grab a marker and be ready to mark once you get done with this last decrease on this corner. Okay, just got done with gathering my last 3 here, and then you've got your first 5 of your tip here, and you're going to continue to decrease down like you did before until you reach the end, the last stitch of your 5 of your tip here on this top section. But you want to make sure that you know which is the first decrease on this top part of the bag. So we'll do the decrease and then we'll mark it with a stitch marker. So this is the first 3 stitches of my top 5 here. Do a decrease, then I'm going to go ahead and just do my next decrease here, pull up. Just don't want to lose that stitch here. Okay, then you want to get a stitch marker. I'm going to use my little heart sprinkle stitch marker, and I'm going to mark not the one I just did, because I just did that one to bring myself a little farther in, but this first stitch. See, there's the second stitch I just did. This was the very first stitch. I'm going to place the marker right there on the stitch itself, and then I know this is my very first stitch of the row. Now just continue your decreases as normal like you did before until you reach the last stitch of the top, and then we'll be working back and forth in rows again. So just continue. Okay. I finished my last decrease, actually ended perfectly on the last set of 5 here, and then my very next stitch is the first set of 3 going down the side. So I'm done decreasing. So now you want to start your set of single crochets. This first row is just going to be single crochet. So single crochet all the way here till you reach your marker in this stitch here, and then I'll come back. Okay. So after you get done with your first single crochet row, again count your stitches. This time I have 18 instead of 20. So I want it to be 16. So all I got to do is decrease once here and here, and then I'll finish my rows with just plain old single crochet. And you do the same. Adjust your stitches how you need them to get the correct stitches you need, and then just finish up with single crochets. Remember that you want to end with the good side of the bag facing you, and then you are here in the last stitch ready to continue on, because we're going to have to also decrease this side too. So I will see you back here after your last row of single crochets and you're on this side ready to go. Okay, so we made it to the last stitch on this side, and again I'm going to chain 1 and you're going to work down these side stitches. I did 6 on the other side, so I'm going to try to get 6 on this side. 2, 3, 4. My very first of my chain, my very first of my 3 double crochets is here, so I'm just going to do one here. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I have 5, so maybe I can get one in this big space here, and then here. There, that looks better too. So I got 6 on this side, and then this is my very first stitch. Okay, so now we're going to start our gathering just like we did before. And you want to continue to gather until you come up to your to this side, and then we're going to do our 6 stitches to get us back up to here, our 6 single crochets. So first you're going to work until you get to your last double crochet on your last set of 3 double crochets. Okay, so I just did the last gathering of these 3, and now I'm on my side here. Now I'm going to try to get 6 stitches along the side like I did before. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, 6. Bringing me up to the side of my original top here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to chain. I'm going to show you how to do the single crochet foundation stitch. But I'm going to go ahead and pause the tutorial here because I need to charge my camera because it's about to go down. So I'm going to go ahead and just pause the video. I'll see you back here in a second after I charge my camera. Okay, I'm back. And where we left off, we just did our single crochets down the side, which brought us up to here. Now we want to do our single crochet foundation stitches. And depending on how you like to carry your bag, if you like to carry it over your shoulder and have it like around your hip, where it falls, then you want to do about 70 single crochet foundation stitches. And if you want it to be a little bit shorter, like maybe onto your upper side, kind of your arm a little bit more, then do 60. And if you want a handbag style, then do about 40 or 50, depending on how long you want your handle. So to make the single crochet foundation stitches, you want to start off by chaining 2. And you also want to remove your marker and move it up to this side so that you'll remember as you continue on where you began, so you'll know when you want to end. So I'm just going to mark just this side of the bag. Doesn't need to be like a specific stitch or anything. Okay, so you're going to start off by chaining 2. Then you're going to go in through the first chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through only one of those loops, then which will create a chain, and then you'll yarn over and pull through both, which creates the single crochet. So you're creating the chain and the single crochet all at one time. Then you'll want to go back in. There's like 2 little stitches here, looks like, which is the side of the single crochet, and then there's this other one, which is the actual chain of the stitch. You want to go down into the chain, this lower one, and then pull up a loop, pull through only one, then pull through both. Then you'll continue again, and if it helps to look at it from the side, it's more easier to see the single crochet versus the chain, and you're going into the chain. So you go through there, pull up a loop, pull through 1, and pull through 2. And you want to continue to do that. I'm going to go down 1, 2 to the bigger one, and pull up a loop, pull through 1, pull through 2. And you can count your stitches on the side. So far I have 4. So I'm going to continue to do this for this bag until I have about 60. And then I will see you back here. Okay. I just got done with my single crochet foundation stitch. You can see I did 60. So you want to make sure that it's straight, so the stitches are there on top. Then you can just run it through your fingers, follow it down till you reach up to your hook again. You can take your hook out, make sure that you put it where everything is straight. And then you want to go down, not the top, but one of the side stitches that the first side stitch, single crochet that we did when we started down. And you want to slip stitch on that stitch to connect your handle. Then we're going to work down our single crochets here. Since I slip stitched in the first one, then I'm only going to have 5 stitches down the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then this is the started our very first decrease down this side. My light on this side. Okay, so let's just keep going. We're going to just do a single crochet in each stitch all the way down your side until you reach up the side of this one till you get up to the very side stitch, the very last side stitch on this side, and then we're going to start our single crochet foundation stitches again. Okay, I single crocheted all the way down and then up my side, and then I'm going to start my single crochet foundation stitches. Again, you do the chain 2, go back into the first chain, only pull through one of the loops, and then yarn over, pull through both, and then you just go back in through that first stitch again, pull through 1, pull through 2. Then you'll continue to do the same length you did on the other side. Okay, I just attached it again on the other side. Remember to make sure that it's straight, that you don't have any twist. And then again, work down the other side of the bag, down this way, doing just single crochets until you reach back up to this side again, your other handle. Made it back up to my other side. I moved my marker down here just so, because you just need it here so that you know this is the beginning. You don't, but it was in my way over there, so I just moved it. Okay, so I single crocheted until I got to the very last stitch, and this is where I had my double chain that I started my single crochet foundation stitch before. So the next stitch should be made on this actual handle itself. Remember, you're not working on this part of the bag anymore. So this is the first kind of chain. Get closer here. Looks like there's a chain here, and then this is the first actual stitch. This is the one you want to go. You want to skip this thinner single stitch, go right into the first single crochet, which I guess this one here, I see there's 2 stitches here. I mean 2 kind of like this, see, single crochet, they always have the 2. There's one here too, so I guess I'm going to skip this thinner part here and just go into this first one as my first stitch. And it's going to shorten that bit. So that'll be my first stitch, that'll be my second, and you're going to be working along now your actual part of your handle. And since you already have a marker here, you already know this is where you'll be ending your handle. So this first single crochet foundation stitch that we did is row 1 of the handle. You're just now starting row 2 as you start to work over the handle now. And you will continue to single crochet all the way down to here, and then you'll start your single crochets on the side of the bag, and then again all the way down till you make it back onto this side again, and then you'll do again what we just did, and you'll start your single crochets here all the way down your handle, and then down this side of the bag again, which will bring you all the way back up to where you begun here, and then you'll start your third row. I did 6 rows here, so I'm going to go ahead and go around my whole bag like I just showed you 6 times. Well, 5 actually, because the first one is you already did 1 row. So this will be my second, and then I'll go around a total of 5 more times until my bag here, I mean my strap is 6 rows just like this. So continue to do that to finish your bag. And when you are ready to end your strap, when you get done with all your rows, you'll go ahead and slip stitch here and right before the strap, and chain 1, cut your yarn, leave enough tail to where you can hide your tail inside the single crochets that run along here. And then you can put a lining in it or not put a lining in it. And I'll go ahead and I'll show you some pictures of the finished bag. And that is it. That is how you make, what am I calling it again? That is how you make the Celtic Weave Strip Hobo Bag. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, please don't forget to check out the website where I have all my tutorials, and also me on Facebook as well, because I share a lot of links to free patterns. And that's it. Please don't forget to leave a comment down below if you have a question, and or if maybe you have an idea for another project or something that you'd like to see on the channel. I'd love to hear from you. That's it. Thank you so much for watching.